how to survive and thrive in a first world police state, except that the weak want to have power over the strong. Now, it's unfortunate, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they have bad intentions, but strong people don't always have selfish inclinations. It's much different than the world makes it to be. The sick, fat, healthy, mentally, but not physically, type people, they're going to struggle more with making proper decisions when it requires self-sacrifice than those who are physically healthy and mentally healthy. So that's the reality, is the weak want to rule over the strong, and the secular dynamic of things that often occurs to an extent that handicaps and retards society. So if you're in a first world police state survival situation and you are a strong person, just remain humble. Because whether it's a dirty cop or a dirty lawyer or a dirty judge, and they exist, the weak want to rule over the strong because of their lack of faith. That's why God said, to him who much is given, much is expected. You got some people who are 2 talents, some people who are 10 talents. But when you have low IQ, corrupt, thieving lawyers telling an honest lawyer who's a certified genius to take the bus, then it shows you, you got it, girl, don't worry, that there's not only systemic corruption at times in America, but the weak want to lead the strong when you remove God, because they cannot accept the talents and gifts and abilities, and often do what's called hate, or otherwise covet. So whether it's dirty Jeremy Lake of Fire McIntyre, a dirty cop who has stolen from people in civil forfeitures and allowed lawyers to be slammed, while he then later purports he himself is a lawyer, or it's a judge who denies even the right of a dad to rebuild when the judge is morally inferior because he never provided a hearing. The corrupt, weak want to rule over the righteous, strong. And that's a principle of the world. So to survive and thrive in the first world police state, be spiritual. Because I might end up just getting raptured or martyred. And yes, the Alabama State Bar in my state is in a state of corruption. Because I got out 0 corruption, 0 fraud, 0 theft, 0 malpractice. And Clark Hall and Chris Hood and Jeremy McIntyre acted in crime and conspiracy and stole from me because they're weaker than me. They're less intelligent, less fit, and have accomplished less, therefore they covet me. So Clark Hall threatened me with a gun, sexually harassed me. Chris Hood extorted from me information and then denied me a quantum merit fee, being as petty as he is, talking about the color of the seats of his BMW while I'm talking about ministry and feeding the homeless. And then he steals my work product because he's inferior. He's weak spiritually. Same with, again, dirty Jeremy McIntyre. He can't be happy for people to succeed. He's never tried a single case. So the weak in the world want to lead the strong. But in the church, the strong serve the weak. Not out of compulsion, like the government's dynamic, where they make you pay money and tell you to be places. I've been put on programs where the lady over me is fat and overweight. Guy's scrawny, anxious, can't even have a conversation. He's got so much debilitating anxiety. And another woman looks like a leper. Now, these folks who don't go to church are the weak, by compulsion, taking from and trying to lead the strong. So that's the principle of the world to learn today. In the name of Jesus, You have divine purpose. You do the right thing the right way every time. And even when the spiritually dirty and weak attack you and try to lead you, you ultimately are leading them indirectly because they're watching, stalking, listening, pretending. But if you speak the truth every single time and practice your faith, there's no way to entrap you. And there's a billboard way back over there of Alexander Shinari. I'm in Tennessee, Nashville. That's an Alabama lawyer who stole for 10 years from Medicaid. Alabama Medicaid, and stole from his clients. And that's why the weak should not lead the strong. The strong should serve the weak and help them. But see, he's weak-minded, and so is the general counsel's office who let him steal. They let him steal, and in their lack of faith and saying, look, we know you got billboards everywhere, and it may make the bar look bad, but you got to pay them people back, and acknowledge that you can't double dip. So here I'm telling you that from the streets of Nashville, that 10 years of repayment are due from this guy on the billboard to his clients and the Alabama Medicaid. They're constitutionally weak. Alexander Shinari, Jeremy McIntyre, and Roman Shaw. I'm constitutionally strong. I took a vow and oath to the Constitution at West Point. So a principle of the world, you're going to see it in secular demonic stronghold systems and systems of ego, placing feelings of self and how one orients in the situation, ego over constitutional principles. The weak and corrupt in the systems of the world lead the strong. They led Jesus to a cross. So just like Dirty Jeremy led me to a cross with a fake program and they stole my fees with Chris Hood and Clark Hall, and just like Dirty Alexander Shinari stole fees for 10 years, leading his clients to find settlement disbursements that stole from them, in the world, the weak lead the strong temporarily. So as long as you say something, you'll eventually be able to have your vindication. And in the next life to come, they'll get the payment for the due penalty of their error. Because Jeremy McIntyre and the Alabama State Bar are thieves and have stolen. They're your modern Pharisees. Any lawyer that's keeping a rule of man over a constitution is a secular humanist Pharisee. They're systemic thieves. So those are the people that you have to pray to convert, to include people like double-dipping Alexander Shinari. Every dollar double-dipped from his clients, and I got out clean. Here he's on billboards all through the Southeast. Decade-long fraud and theft, and both Roman Shaw and Jeremy McIntyre conspired with it in the general counsel's office. And here I am as a lawyer with bogus DUIs I beat and a divorce, and the weak corrupt are leading me, the constitutionally strong. But stay solid. Peace be with you. Bye for now.